Welcome, listeners, to another exciting episode of The Monkey and Big Show, where we dive deep into the realms of comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm your host, Your Name, joining the dynamic duo of Monkey and Biggs as we embark on another wild and unpredictable adventure through the airwaves. In this episode, prepare to unleash your laughter as we unravel hilarious anecdotes, share our unique perspectives on the latest trends, and perhaps even stir up some friendly debates along the way. From mind-boggling news stories to our favorite movies, video games, and everything that tickles our funny bone, we've got you covered. So grab your favorite beverage, sit back, and be ready to be entertained, amused, and maybe even mildly perplexed. The Monkey and Big Show is about to begin, and we promise you an unforgettable journey filled with laughter, witty banter, and a touch of the unexpected. Without further ado, let's dive into the podcast that's here to tickle your funny bone, challenge your perspectives, and keep you entertained from start to finish. Welcome to the biannual episode of The Monkey and Big Show. I'm Biggs.
As usual. I thought you were Your Name, the famous anime movie. Yeah.
Oh, you think that ChatGPT was doing a reference to that anime film?
Sure, it could have been.
This podcast is hosted by a film.
I feel like that intro should have been read by a third party to introduce us, but...
Yeah, weird. I say, write me an intro for the beginning of the Monkey and Big Show podcast, and it assumes that there's a third random person who's just, like, joining in on Monkey and Bigs, I guess.
I mean, I guess the way you worded it could come off as, like, write me an intro for their podcast or something, you know, if you're, I don't know.
Okay, next time I'll say, my name is Monkey Jones, and I have never had an original thought in my head, and I need you to tell me what to say.
I could start off the podcast with a funny story with that reference, actually.
Well, you should, because we promised 3 anecdotes throughout that intro, so...
So, this is actually not my story, but...
Doxed?
Oh, okay.
I'll bleep that one out.
This is actually not my story, but my wife's.
Right.
Sorry, it's been a while. But so apparently where she works, her boss was trying to figure out a way to write an email to send out, or I guess a letter to send out to surrounding businesses to kind of give them like a community discount or something if they come in, you know? So she asked him about it, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm just using ChatGPT because I was too lazy to write my own. So she had to proofread it and make sure it was good to print out and send to the surrounding businesses.
It did start off saying, as a text-based AI, I cannot write your business proposal for you. However, and then he just copied and pasted the whole thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Probably.
Hey, to be honest, though, you know, honestly, ChatGPT probably wrote better copy than whoever this manager guy is. Like, I was asking it to name some, like, podcast titles for me, and everything was fucking gold. Like, I have a poll right now on my YouTube channel with a title I chose and a title that ChatGPT did. ChatGPT's winning by, like, 70%. It's a fucking blowout.
Yeah, it's becoming really popular to use for a lot of stuff. I mean, to be honest, I still play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, you know, and whenever I kind of hit a writer's block and I need to fill in gaps of like backstories of characters that don't matter so much, I'll just go right on there and type in, you know, the general gist of what my campaign is and then say, write me a backstory for, you know, this side character, and it'll give me a more in-depth backstory than I have for any of the other main characters.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like I'm obsolete now. I've written a number of novels in my life, and I feel like if I just typed in like the synopsis of any of my books into ChatGPT, they would do a better job, probably.
I mean, that could be our first current event topic that we talk about. Did you hear about the Writers Guild and their strike? And
oh, yes.
One of their things, one of their demands is like protection against AI.
Yeah, I can't blame them for that, because if my entire career could be replaced by a prompt on the computer, I'd probably want to get a contract saying you can't replace me with this technology.
Yeah.
Especially for the sake of art and the future of cinema and television, I personally would not like it if everything was written by the computer. So maybe these greedy motherfuckers can pay these writers what they want. Because I don't want I think every Marvel movie other than James Gunn is already written by a fucking computer. AI.
Yeah.
Like, it was confirmed in She-Hulk. Did you watch She-Hulk? It ends with She-Hulk goes to Marvel Studios to complain about the script, and the script writing team says, oh no, you gotta go up to the main guy, Kevin Feige. She goes up to Kevin Feige and he's a fucking AI robot! It's literally canon!
That's awesome.
That's how that show ends. The final episode, she says, this plot is stupid, I'm gonna complain, and then she destroys the fabric of the show. Honestly, She-Hulk, worth the watch just for that final episode. I'd say just watch the last one, and that's all you really need.
Yeah, I've heard a lot. But yeah, I just thought it was funny that for a technology that is still relatively new, considering, how much further it can go, that we're already from like basically ground zero saying, okay, this is too much.
Mm-hmm. And it's not even like super good yet. Like, it's just acceptable. It's the early stages. And yeah, these writers, I could see where they're coming from for sure.
Yeah.
But whose side are you on, though?
We're scared. I was gonna say all the McDonald's characters are scared. Employees are scared of robots taking over like their kiosk and stuff. But it's already so much worse than that.
Oh, for so long, these creative people have been so smug, like, they'll never be able to replace what we do. Oh, I'm a comedian. Surely a computer could never write a joke. I guess
like an artist, like the AI art is getting so much better these days, and it's like even the artists are getting really scared now.
Do you want to hear my hottest take that will probably get me crucified?
Go for it. I feel like I already know what it is.
You don't.
Conversation.
No, you don't know. There have been these AI-generated Wes Anderson movie trailers. Like, what if Wes Anderson did Lord of the Rings? What if he did X, Y, and Z? And I've only seen negative backlash, people shitting on it, saying, oh, this is a travesty, you can't do this, this is never gonna be true art, whatever. And
actually, it's really good.
I'm sitting here like, this trailer looks pretty good.
It does.
This kind of looks like a Wes Anderson movie.
I think I saw one of those come across my TikTok or something, and I was like, wait, is this? And then I looked down and it was like hashtag AI gen or something, I was like, there's no way some robot came up with this. This is better than half the stuff I've seen from them.
Oh, don't say that, Biggs. Kino Corner's gonna come to your house. I've just seen him on a tirade against this stuff, and I'm secretly thinking in my brain, well, it doesn't look that bad. Like, so what if Bilbo has 6 toes, I don't know how hobbits work. I never read that gay shit.
I don't know. I think, to be fair, I've only seen, I think, 2 Wes Anderson films. I just didn't really care for either one of them.
Well, yeah, one of the worst movies I've ever seen is Moonrise Kingdom, a fucking pedophile movie. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't.
Oh my, skip that one. Which ones have you seen?
Let's see. So,
Isle of Dogs?
The Grand Budapest Hotel. I've seen that one.
That's a good one.
What was the other one? Maybe it was Isle of Dogs.
It did have Bryan Cranston in it, so maybe that's why you saw it.
That could have been, but I could write it off as it not being my genre of films, I guess. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it is.
Don't really care for them.
I'm not going to say Wes Anderson is pretentious, but I will say a lot of his fans are. So it's okay if you aren't a big fan. Like, I've only seen like 5 of his movies myself.
That's definitely what I got from the fans that I've ran into. Is they're very pretentious about it.
Yeah, that's Kino Corner.
So yeah, I think I'll confidently walk away saying I don't enjoy their films thus far.
So you do not enjoy the films of Wes Anderson, but we both agree that we both agree that the AI trailer for Wes Anderson is far superior to the man himself.
Yes.
Let's put that out there. That's the Monkey and Big's motto now. Wes Anderson is worse than AI art.
I'm fine dying on that hill.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Fuck them. What are they gonna do? Anyway,
I mean, come on. I've sat and seen some like random TikTok videos come by of people like, if my life was a Wes Anderson film, and I thought those were more interesting.
Yeah. To be fair, though, you've admitted you've only seen 1.5 of his movies. Maybe there's one that you would really like.
Yeah.
You don't want to see Bill Murray being smug?
I guess Asteroid City does look interesting.
Oh, that cast list is crazy.
I know. I've seen the trailer for it like 3 times now at the movies, and I'm kind of excited, but then I saw Wes Anderson, and I was like, I'll give it a shot at least. I'll at least go watch it. But
one of the few guys who wants to see a movie until he finds out it was made by Wes Anderson.
It's okay. I'll go down as uncultured.
Hey, fuck him. Who cares, man? Donnie Darko. Wes Anderson could never make Donnie Darko, let alone S. Darko.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's what.
Never.
Can somebody make? What if Wes Anderson directed Donnie Darko? I want to see that as a 2-minute trailer now.
Yeah, put that into an AI.
Yeah, I don't know which AI is making those, but get on it.
He could never be Richard Kelly. Let's be honest.
No, make 2 movies and then give up. Anyway, Biggs, people are dying to hear about this big wedding. The wedding of Biggs. So many people's hearts were broken. When was your wedding? I forgot. Like 2 months ago?
Yeah, it was February, 3 months ago.
Okay, so yeah, we did an episode right before it, and now we're going to do one slightly after it, because Biggs, people thought it was a complete lie, a fabrication. Biggs getting married, it cannot be. But then they see that photo evidence on the big day, and perhaps even the thumbnail of this podcast. And now, I think it's time for you to rub it in their faces that you're a married man, and these basement-dwelling incels will never find love.
I don't know if I need to rub it in. I mean, I don't think it was ever something of that nature.
Do you remember when the Monkey and Big show began? We were both single, practically homeless, had nothing going for us. And now, like, this character arc of Biggs, he falls in love, gets a lovely lady, gets married. I mean, when we started the show, people looked down on us, and now they can't even see you because you're so high up.
I don't know about that. I mean, man, that is kind of an interesting perspective. Like, when we started out, like, being such an angry teenager, hating my life, wishing I was dead, versus now.
I was talking about the beginning of this incarnation of Monkey and Biggs. I wasn't jumping back to 10 years ago.
I thought you meant like, what was that, 2013 or something?
Yeah, 10 years.
Wow. Yeah, that's quite the arc, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Better than my arc. Mine's just been a downward spiral the whole time. It just keeps... I want to see how low this will go. As long as I'm doing better than my incel neighbor, I'll count it as a win.
Well, no matter how low it gets, just I'll be a call away. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll see. Because Biggs. Oh, I forgot. I had some questions, but people had questions about the wedding and all that. But we'll get to that later. Let's just. There's something I need to tell you about something that happened at the wedding, and I might have told you before, but I'm gonna tell you again for the sake of the podcast. And once you hear this, you might rethink a lot of things in your life, and you might want to have some serious conversations with your family members. But as you may recall, you forced me to walk down the aisle with your sister. You remember that?
Yeah.
Now, how old is your sister, Biggs?
14.
Now, by any chance, are you familiar with this Japanese anime/manga called Berserk?
Yeah, I've never read it. I've really wanted to watch it because I heard it was good. But all I know is something about a horse.
Well,
I think that's all I've ever heard or seen from Berserk.
I'm pretty sure the very first panel is the main character like having sex with a pile of gore. It's
something like
just
that.
lots of rape and horrible bloody violence and the worst things you can imagine. Anyway, I'm sure you already know this, but what I'm getting at is your sister told me she's a big fan of Berserk, and I figured 14 was probably a little too young for that one, Biggs.
Yeah, I mean, I have no defense for that. I mean, I myself, along with my wife, got her into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and she is like a mega fan of that now.
Oh, good. Yeah, let's get her away from like the 18 plus rated shit and go to the kiddie stuff, maybe.
Yeah,
because I asked her if she's still watching Naruto, and she said, "Naruto, that's for little kids. I'm reading Berserk," and I was like, "What? What?
I don't know, bro. Man, what's that song called? I can't remember. I just heard it the other day.
Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh.
Sure.
Eleanor Rigby. Eleanor Bixby.
What's it called?
Is that your wife's name, Eleanor Bixby?
It could be. I mean, that'd be interesting.
Is she gonna be real lonely?
The Guts theme. Maybe she just wants to have that kind of vibe for her life.
Well, I might have to listen to the Guts theme. I don't remember how that one goes.
Oh man, it's great.
It's been a hot minute since I watched the great anime Berserk 20 whatever fucking year. The shitty 3D animated one came out. It's
S tier sorrow music.
Oh, okay. So I'm guessing Guts is a pretty sad dude.
Yeah. I know I keep bringing up TikTok a lot. I'm definitely like an iPad kid. But one of my favorite ones is where they randomly walk up to a stranger and they're like, "Hey, what song are you listening to?" You know, and then like as they walk off, they like play the song in the background to show what, you know, whatever they're listening to. And there's one where they like walk up to this guy and he's like all giddy and happy. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm listening to the Guts theme." And they're like, "Okay." And he starts walking away like towards this lake, and it starts playing. It's this horrible, sad song. And he just walks into the water.
Oh, he just drowns himself like listening to it?
Himself. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I mean, one day I'm gonna actually read all of Berserk, but I guess I won't be able to hear the song while reading. I'll just have to play it while, like, on repeat.
We all know me. I'll never get around to reading anything.
I thought you said you were reading One Piece. You said you're on like chapter 500.
I'm done with that. Yeah, it's done.
Oh wow, you even finished the chapters that have not been written yet. So how does it end? What is the One Piece? I've been dying to know.
The One Piece is real. The Queen was right. It's just a piece of candy. That's all it is.
Wait, the Queen said it was a piece of candy?
No, the Queen was right all along. The One Piece is real, and I'm telling you, it's a piece of candy.
Who's the Queen?
The Queen that died, you fool.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Not my problem. I feel bad for British people who have like adult minds and they're not like infantilized their whole lives, who realize that this monarchy shit is like the dumbest, gayest, most retarded shit to ever exist. It's gotta suck knowing that your tax money's going to that. And I thought it was bad over here. Like, at least our money's, you know, killing kids over in Ukraine or whatever. Like, at least it's not paying for some 98-year-old man to have a party. But Biggs, people don't want to hear about this. They want to hear about the wedding. Because most of these people, not only have they never been invited to a wedding, but they'll probably never get married. So they need to hear it from your perspective. Personally, I am not planning on getting married at any point. So I'm going to have to live vicariously through your story, Biggs. What was it like getting married?
Well, leading up to it, there's a lot of planning. A lot of it was out of my hands because when we were planning the wedding, we were just like, you know, we don't want to do this, we don't want to do that. Like, we don't want a reception. We don't want like all sorts of things.
Why didn't you want all that stuff?
Because we just wanted an easy wedding. Just basically, because here's the thing, her and I are both like super antisocial.
Good couple.
We don't really enjoy crowds or anything like that. So, and that's all a wedding is really, is just a giant crowd of people watching you get married. And afterwards, you're supposed to entertain, 100 plus people and have this big show and do all these silly things. And leading up to it, we were just kind of dreading that. So we said no. But then as it got closer, people decided to talk us into certain things. They're like, oh, you can have a reception. Well, we'll do it for you for free. You don't even have to worry about it.
Oh, wow. That's the way to do it. Just tell everybody you don't want it and they'll give it to you for free.
And I was like, I mean, if I can't really say no to that. I mean, I wanted to, but sure, if you guys are willing to do it, you can do that. And then, so the reception was just going to be like, snacks or whatever, and then like light refreshments, just to kind of, like a little hangout session. But then it gets a little bit closer to the wedding, and my stepdad is getting all mad because we're not having food, like an actual meal. So he's like on my back every day, calling me, complaining about us not having food. I'm like, dude,
what the hell?
I don't want to like bother with it. I don't want to have to pay for it. Like, that's a lot of money. We're trying to spend our money on our honeymoon.
There's a McDonald's a mile from the church. Like, figure it out, dude.
So I was like, no, I don't. He's like, here, I'll tell you what. Come and get my card and go get whatever you want. Have it catered. Then you don't have to deal with it. I'm like, fine, okay. And then I have to like look into that. So I looked around at some options and nothing really sounded good, or it was too expensive, until we came across a barbecue joint, and the prices weren't completely unreasonable. But I was like, okay, we'll get like, just some shredded meat, and then we'll buy buns and get sauce and, all that. He's like, no, get the whole thing catered, top to bottom, sides, desserts. I'm like,
and right. He's planning all this after you've already sent out invitations that say there will not be food?
I don't even want to get started on the invitations. People got those like 2 days before the wedding.
Oh, no. What? Whose fault was that?
We ended up doing like a Facebook group and sending out digital. And then my aunt was like, you can't do that. You have to give physical. So then she got these really nice printed physical cards. And it's like, well, I don't really want to sit down and have to sign all these invitations and seal them, because there's like this really ornate letter thing. And then
gonna get paper tongues on your, or paper cuts on your tongue, not paper tongues.
Originally, we just wanted to like word of mouth, like, hey, we're having a wedding on this date. We want you to make or come to that, But then it was like, oh, well, some people are out of town, and some people are busy, blah, blah, blah. We'll just send out Facebook invites. It'll be easy, Then they can mark whether or not they're going on there. But then the whole fiasco with the physical one is like, whatever.
Yeah, is your aunt like 90 years old? You're making not only like the environmentally conscious choice, but just like the convenient choice. I would much rather get a digital invite than have to go check my mailbox and open it.
Well,
what a hassle.
It's because America just has a mess of traditions that the older folk seem to think that they're untouchable, and if you don't do it that way, you're doing it wrong, and it's just really annoying to deal with. So anyways,
that classic MUMKEY and BIGS line.
Yeah, so anyways, so back to the food thing. So we finally get that squared away, and then next thing you know, it's like the day before the wedding or day of or something, and we're like all hanging out as the day progresses, because it was kind of a later wedding. It was at like 6 p.m., 6:30.
Oh, is that not common?
I don't know, man. I don't really care what tradition is, honestly.
I mean, I think I've only been to one other wedding, and that was like my cousin, and I don't remember what time that was. So, it's not like you and me have a lot of friends who are getting married all the time.
Most of the weddings I've been to have been family, and it was like around noon, and then they had like an early reception, like early afternoon reception, and then like after party kind of reception for all the drinkers.
Did you think about having a destination wedding with a Guatemalan monkey, perhaps? Or was that Guatemala?
No, that was Honduras.
Oh yeah. Why didn't you have a Honduran destination wedding?
You know, I would have been fine with that. And somebody joked about us because our honeymoon ended up being a cruise, is what we did. And somebody's like, well, why don't you just get married on the cruise? I'm like, why didn't I do that?
Oh, that would have been fun.
Then it's like, okay, see you later, 99% of you that won't actually book a cruise to come watch us get married, you know?
Yeah, as long as you don't need a vaccination card, I would have been there.
Yeah, they dropped that. You don't need that.
Oh, hell yeah. Then let's redo the wedding, because I've never been on a cruise, and, you know, you make it sound like a lot of fun.
Oh, man, it's the best way to travel, in my opinion. But anyways, to finish off that last thought, it's just like the day of the wedding, you know, everybody says you like get all worked up, you get anxious, like a ball in your gut kind of feeling. But
really,
me,
you were like, oh, you did not have that, is what you're saying?
No. For me, it was like completely opposite. I was so serene, like enjoying my morning. Like a bunch of people came over and we played Smash Bros in the new apartment that I just moved into at the time, and it's like, you know, okay, this is great. And then we go off to the church, everybody's getting ready, I'm in my suit. You know, it's like an hour to the wedding.
I showed up and I spanked Cobb's ass at Yu-Gi-Oh! Twice in a row. That was the best part of my day.
So then, and then it gets closer, and then next thing you know, they're like, okay, you need to go upstairs. The music starts playing. I get down the aisle, and it's like, as soon as I see her mom, and I turn around to walk back to get my mom.
Biggs, time out. Zoom is trying to kick us out. Discord is down, so we downloaded Zoom, and it says, in 10 minutes, we're kicking you out. I guess when we get kicked out, I'll just start a new call or something, but continue.
So yeah, anyways, as soon as I see her mom, I like turn around to go back and get my mom. And for some reason, that's like right when all the anxiety hit. Like I turn around, I see the entire crowd of people, and my whole face, I could feel it turn like bright red. My whole face went super hot. And I was like, okay, so this is the anxiety that people talk about, except it happened literally after I already walked down the aisle the first time.
It could just be you had all those eyes on you, and that's when like the social anxiety kicked in.
And you know, that could very well be it too, because I am not a public speaker in front of a crowd. That is, if I'm recording something like this, it's whatever. But
yeah, you're an actor for the camera only, not for the stage.
Exactly. If I'm in front of more than 10 people and they're all watching me, I am a nervous wreck no matter who it is. It could be my family and I'm a nervous wreck.
Especially your family. Those judgmental pricks.
So I walk down, you know, get my mom, come back down, seat her, and then I stand at the front facing towards the front since, you know, I'm not supposed to look back or whatever. And yeah, from then on, it was just nothing but almost like an internal nervous meltdown, like through the whole ceremony. And then into the reception, like both of us mutually just wanted to leave as soon as the ceremony was over. We were so over it already. Wow. Don't get me wrong. It was a great ceremony. It all looked really nice. The food was good, but it was like neither one of us are that type of person. You know, we're not the type to be like the center of attention like that. And it really drove us nuts. And we're like, as soon as I took like 3 bites of food, she looked over at me and she's like, I want to leave. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, well, we still got to do the cake real quick. So I went and got the girl that was kind of running the show, so to speak, you know, making sure the schedule went as planned. And I was like, hey, can we do the cake? Like we're trying to leave right now. So that's why I don't know if you guys kind of caught all that going on, but that's why, like, as soon as we sat down and took a few bites, we got up and did the cake and then did the exit, like within 15 minutes.
All I remember is I was sitting there at the reception with my food at your table, and at some point you asked me if we were about to leave, and I was like, oh, no, of course not. And meanwhile, I don't know, you're thinking about how bad you want to leave. You could have just asked me to make an excuse for us both to leave, Biggs. I could have, caused a ruckus.
Well, so what happened was I was upstairs doing pictures, and then, like, you guys had taken off downstairs to eat or whatever. And then, so my cousin came in and he's like, oh, I got to take off, blah, blah, blah. And then right about that time, your brother and his wife came up and said, oh, we're taking off or whatever. And then I think your parents came up after that. So when I went downstairs and I grabbed food, I turned around and I saw you like getting up. And for some reason, I just thought, oh, he's taking off. Okay, I better go say bye.
Yeah, it's me doing the Irish goodbye or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Like I'm back at a high school party and just fucking leave Ashton's house halfway through. Don't say anything to anybody.
Yeah, that's like my signature way to leave. I hate goodbyes. I don't like the awkwardness of, oh, I gotta take off. And like, oh, well, can't you stay? Blah blah blah. No, I just leave. I don't like it.
Well, Biggs, if we're gonna let's backtrack a little bit to when the wedding ceremony, and now I know you were feeling a bit of anxiety at that time, and it brings me comfort to know that since you were so anxious, we did not go through with the epic prank that your brother B-Rye came up with. Did you hear about this?
Oh, the whole, no, I don't have the ring.
Yeah,
you have it.
Your brother was the best man, and he, of course, the best man has the ring, and he has to hand it over during the ceremony. And he comes up to me like an hour before and says, hey, we're going to play a prank on Biggs. Here's the wedding ring. I'm going to give it to you, MUMKEY. You have it in your pocket. And then when Biggs needs the ring, I'm going to act like I lost it. And I'm like, this is a terrible idea, but who am I to say no? So, like, that whole night, I had your ring, or your wife's ring, in my pocket, Biggs. The whole night.
Oh, man. Well, I'm glad.
I showed it off to my mom, and my mom was like, you cannot do that. And I was like, B-Rye made me. What do you want me to do? The best man ordered it.
So she was the voice of reason for him?
Well, no, event like 5 minutes. Like, we're waiting in line, about to walk down the aisle, and then your brother taps me and says, no, we're not doing it. Give it back. And I said, okay, good call. What would your reaction have been?
Honestly, I don't even know. I would have been just like lost.
You start beating the shit out of him?
Because we did rehearsal the night before, right? And
I did miss the rehearsal. I was sick that night.
So we did the rehearsal the night before, and we went through it, and it's like trying to kind of figure out with a pastor, okay, at this point you guys are going to step up on stage. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. You're going to gesture to me, and that's when we're going to come up. Okay. And then when this happens, then you guys are going to walk around and do like the unity candle and that sort of thing. Okay, that makes sense. There's like these gestures that you're doing, or like verbal like cues of when to do something. Okay, like that's how my brain's going to work, because I already know, I'm probably going to be nervous when I'm up there in front of everyone, and I hate to make a fool of myself. So then, like during the ceremony, after she walks down and like, we turn to each other, and then I look up at him, and he talks with his hands a lot. Like, that's just him. He talks with his hands a lot. So he starts talking, and he like motions his hand, and I thought that was the cue to come up on stage, and it was not.
Uh-oh.
So I start to take a step up the stage, and my wife kind of like tugs me a little bit, like, I don't think so. But I'm already sold on going up, because I already took the first step up the step.
There's no going back from that.
So then I kind of like pull her up with me, and I look up at him, and he's like eyeballing me like, oh, not yet. And I'm like, I am sorry, brother, but it is happening now. So,
you just went through with it anyway.
Yeah, because I stepped up on the first step. I'm not going to go back down. That's so embarrassing. Yeah. So like, when he did the opening prayer, like we were still supposed to be like off the stage, and then after he steps back and then we step up, but it's like this awkward us standing like right in front of his face while he's trying to address the crowd.
Well, Big, since you guys ruined the ritual, the ceremony, is your marriage invalid in the eyes of God? Do we have to do this again?
Well, see, the good thing is that part is not part of a ritual per se. So it's like...
It's just the stage directions, really?
It's just basically all in what you say is what matters in that aspect. So even if I did a little song and dance up there, I think we would be fine.
Well, Biggs, Zoom is going to kick us off in 1 minute, so I say, what if we take a little break, because I do have to take a coffee piss real quick, and then I'll start a new Zoom call. How's that sound?
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Hopefully it'll let me call again.
Time?
We're 35 minutes in.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be right back. And we're back, folks! You're tuned in to the Monkey and Big Show, and I am your caffeinated host, Monkey, freshly fueled up with a quick coffee pit stop. Ah, the perils of podcasting and the irresistible call of a well-brewed cup of joe. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, diving deep into the depths of our topic du jour. But before we resume our intellectual escapades, let's take a moment to appreciate the wonders of caffeine and the much-needed relief that comes from a well-timed bathroom break. You know, it's moments like these that remind me of the inherent humanity we bring to the podcasting world. Yes, my friends, even podcast hosts need to heed the call of nature. It's a humble reminder that no matter how deep our discussions, how riveting our debates, or how side-splittingly hilarious our anecdotes, we are, at the end of the day, mere mortals in need of a bathroom break. So, with a refreshed mind, a full bladder emptied, and a steaming cup of Java coursing through my veins, let's dive back into the world of Monkey and Biggs. Strap yourselves in, folks, for the ride continues, the laughter persists, and the caffeine-induced ramblings are about to resume. Welcome back to the Monkey and Big Show, where coffee and conversation collide in the most delightful and unfiltered way possible. Now, Biggs, do you want to guess what my prompt was for that one?
Actually, my name is your name, so...
Wrong. The prompt was, what would a giraffe say if it could talk?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how it came up with that one. That was kind of... Where were we, Biggs, when I just wasted everybody's time with complete bullshit yet again? Did you have any other wedding anecdotes that are worth sharing?
Not really. I mean, I feel like we talked out the highs and lows, we'll call it. I think the
how was
Yu-Gi-Oh before was pretty great.
Yeah, how was the honeymoon, Biggs? You know, people always love hearing about your cruise adventures. Did anything happen on the high seas?
Oh boy, your boy Biggs is a first aid medic, man.
Really?
Do I have a story for you?
Oh boy, okay.
Okay, so the cruise was great overall. There was quite a bit of terrible things that happened to us while we were there. So first off, we get down to New Orleans, and like my one thing I want to do in New Orleans is to go to Café du Monde. And I don't know if you know why, but quite a while ago, Filthy Frank made this video called Hair Cake.
Good video.
And in it, I think it was Hair Cake at least. It was one of the cake videos, but in it they had this DVD like cover of a movie called Chef.
Have you seen Chef?
I have. After seeing that video, I was like, I kind of want to know what that movie is. So I looked it up and I watched it. And guess what? I loved that movie so much that I got my brother to love it just as much, if not more. He's probably more of an avid Chef fan than I am. But,
how does Chef stack up to Donnie Darko, though? Like if Donnie Darko is an 11 out of 10, what's Chef, a 10?
Yeah, it's got to be a 10.
That's fair.
I'd recommend everyone watch it. It's great. But anyways, there's like I want to say a 2-second clip in that film where they're down in New Orleans and he's like, if you're in New Orleans, you got to go to Café du Monde and get one of these beignets. And so that it's like a clip of him and his son walking in. They grab a bag of to-go beignets and they're walking down the street eating them. And they're like happy about how they taste. And like, oh, these are great, But from then I was like, wow, if I'm ever in New Orleans, I got to go to this Café du Monde. So, I mean, this was like, how long ago did that video, the cake video come out?
Oh, that's got to be... Ago. I remember I was working at Menards at the time, so it's got to be like 8 years, maybe? Something
like that. So the whole time, we're planning this trip to go down. We get down there. When we get down there, it's like really late, so we have like the next day to kind of walk around New Orleans and kind of explore stuff. But
on
for
that
me,
note,
it's
real
like,
quick, Biggs, let me ask you this, because I just heard from somebody, this might be made up, that while Chicago is the most dangerous city in America, New Orleans is the most dangerous, like, per capita, like, based on how many crimes are committed in such a small area. Did you get that impression at all?
Not in the area we were in. I feel like if we were out at night, it could be that way, but during the day, it wasn't.
I wonder if Mardi Gras is just hiking up those numbers there.
I think it really is. And the thing is, we went down the week after Mardi Gras, so it was a mess. Like, when I say mess, like, it was horribly disgusting, because the hotel we stayed at
what a
was in the
romantic
French
honeymoon,
Quarter.
Biggs.
Okay, but listen. This hotel was within walking distance of Cafe du Monde.
Oh,
the
boy.
one that they went to in the movie. So, we get there late at night, everything's closed, which I didn't find out till later that Cafe du Monde is open 24/7, but probably better that we went during the daytime. Nighttime seems sketchy, especially since when we pulled up in the Uber, there were a bunch of drunk people outside and there was a fight across the street from the hotel.
Why didn't you start filming it for World Star?
I just didn't feel like getting shot. So we went to bed. The next morning we get up, kind of get our bearings, look at the map, see where we're at in relation to it. I'm like, all right, the one thing we're doing in New Orleans is going to this cafe. So we walked, I want to say 15 or so blocks. It wasn't crazy far, but down the French Quarter, the blocks are pretty small anyways. It's really condensed, kind of like an old town setup. So we get over there. There's like a live jazz band playing out front. There's like a giant line of people waiting to get these beignets. And we finally get our way up there, and the line we were in was for to go, right? You like grab it and then just walk away and like eat it on the street somewhere. And I was looking over, I was like, oh man, they have like seating, like you can sit inside the cafe, but it was like completely packed. Like, okay, no way. There's no way we're ever going to be able to sit in there. So we get to the front and the lady's like, oh, by the way, a table just opened up if you want to sit inside. I'm like, dude, no way.
Just in time.
So we went down there, sat inside, got some beignets, and man, they are worth all the hype. They're the
Chef
best.
did not lie.
Like, I had tried beignets 2 other times. Granted, those times weren't in New Orleans, but still, compared to the other 2 that claimed to be authentic, these were top of the line, man. They were amazing.
Can you explain for the uncultured at home what a beignet is? And also for me.
A beignet is basically a square donut. It's
really? That's it?
Very, very reminiscent to a donut. It's a bit like a bit fluffier than a donut, and the way they make the dough is like really airy too. So it's really soft, and then they top it with powdered sugar. But it's really good.
Better than a Casey's gas station donut. Big.
Yes.
Oh, I can't believe you. There's no way. Can you hear the sarcasm in my voice? Wait, so what's the medical thing? What'd you do on the cruise?
Okay, so fast forward, we get on the cruise later on of the same day of going to the cafe. So
you got that beignet in your stomach, and it's fueling you for what you're about to face.
Yeah, so first day, I don't know if I described it last time, but the first day of a cruise is a nightmare because you can't go to your stateroom, which is like your own personal quarters on the ship. You can't go to your stateroom until after a certain time. It's like 1:30 or something. We got on the boat at 11. Everyone can start loading at 10. So you have just, literally the ship holds what? Like, I don't remember how much that one holds. Like 3,000? No, it's gotta be more than that, right? Let me see.
We can say thousands.
Amount of people. Okay, so it was 3,000. Okay, so the size ship I was on holds 3,000 people. Now, all these people cannot go to the staterooms, and that's usually what they want to do right away is get unpacked. So since they can't do that, where does everybody go?
To the bar?
To all the restaurants and all the bars, which are all on one level, which is level 9. and you can't go below a certain deck until they get it all prepped. So you're like basically stuck with all these people, and it's like nightmare fuel for, like I said, 2 introverts that don't really like crowds.
What are these cruise employees doing before the cruise? Can't you get this shit ready like the day before?
Here's the thing with the cruises. That same cruise ship will come in, disembark all of the people, and then start embarking a new crowd of people onto the ship as they're still cleaning underneath.
So they have to have like the movie theater cleanup crew come in before the new picture starts?
Yes, literally.
Wow, not even a day.
Idea. No.
That's insane.
Not even like to refuel. If they have to refuel, they do it while they're disembarking and embarking people. Like they even have special rules, like you can't be smoking out on the deck during fueling days because it could blow up the ship, that kind of stuff.
So is there basically a 0% chance that your bed sheets were clean?
I mean, they're clean. They're very fast about it.
Oh, they had enough time to actually go through and get all the semen stains off?
Yeah, apparently. So anyways, we get past that day. It's whatever. The next 2 days are days at sea. It's basically just the ship is sailing and they just need time to get down to the next port. So those were just us exploring the ship, eating different foods and that sort of thing. But the story I was hinting at was actually like the 4th day or something like that.
The beignet, particles of it might still be inside of you at that point, so what I said is still possibly accurate.
So, anyways, I'll kind of skip to that because the other ones were great days, but this took the cake. So we are in the Cayman Islands, which is one of the places I had been on my first cruise. I really liked it. I really wanted to go back, so we did. And during part of the tour, you get to go to what they call the blowholes, and it's basically this coral kind of buildup on the side of the island where there's like big holes in the side where the water flushes down into, and then it kind of like jets up through these holes in the coral and shoots up into the air like blowholes, like a whale kind of. And so anyways, when they go down there, they tell you, you need to be careful. The footing isn't that great. It's really rough terrain, and you need to be wearing tennis shoes. Okay. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit to before the cruise. I am not a first aid person. If I cut myself, I'll find the nearest thing that can wrap, and I'll just wrap it and say
duct
whatever.
tape.
I don't really care. Yeah. Even at work, it's like if I cut myself, I just grab tape and tape it up. Like, I don't care.
What if you get electrocuted at work? Because I think that was a concern last time we were talking. Can you duct tape the electricity out of your body?
Yeah, you could. Surprisingly. If you use, say, electrical tape, it just pulls it right out.
I think that's how it works.
But anyways, I just had this itching feeling that I needed to get a first aid kit and put it in my backpack. So I did. I ordered one on Amazon. It was like a whatever medical brand. I can't remember what it was called. But so I put it in my backpack. It's got like
duct tape,
gauze, and it's got like gauze, surgical tape. It's got Band-Aids and all sorts of stuff in it.
You should make a BIGS brand first aid kit that just has like all the dumb shit you would use.
Yeah. A lighter to cauterize it.
Yes. No, fucking blowtorch and duct tape.
Yeah.
And some crystal meth or like heroin to make the pain go away.
What, am I a druggie now?
Well, I mean, you don't have to use the kit. You're just selling them.
That's true. So anyways, on the day of this particular port, the Grand Cayman, I was like, okay, I'm going to throw it in my backpack and take it with me. Just in case, you never know. So anyways, we get to these blowholes and we're walking around taking pictures. It's really cool. And out of the corner of my eye, I see this like elderly woman just kind of standing with her family. And she's like talking to them kind of frantically, and I can't really gauge what's going on. But then she like points up at the tour bus, and I kind of gather, okay, she's going back to the tour bus. I also noticed that this lady happened to be wearing flip-flops, which is not what you're supposed to be wearing. Oh,
that's a big no-no.
Tennis shoes. So anyways, for whatever reason, I start like kind of eyeballing her, kind of keeping an eye on her. And sure enough, she turns around, her flip-flop kind of slips and her foot goes down into this little divot, and she rolls her ankle and falls down right onto the coral.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was wincing at that because it was a hard fall.
God.
Like,
this is an old lady, you said?
Yeah, and you can hear like the bony crunch of her hip.
Oh, fuck, Biggs. Oh, man.
So I'm like already thinking, okay, she's going to be really hurt. This stuff is jagged. It will cut through you like butter.
Ugh.
And sure enough, she stands up and she like looks at her arm, you know, just kind of looking over it. And I just see like red all over her arm. I'm like...
Was she Native American?
Yikes.
She might not have been injured. Might have just been naturally red. Don't give me a wow, Biggs.
African American.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're usually not too red.
So anyways, I like kind of hurriedly rush over to her because there was another guy that ran over and helped her up, but everybody else was kind of like in shock, and I saw like the gash on her arm. So I like went over to her and
she said, "Is anybody a doctor?" And you said, "Dr. Biggs is on the way." And you pushed through the crowd.
No, but man, I want to say it was like a 4 to 5 inch long gash.
Oh,
like
God.
right on the bottom of her forearm.
Now, when you say when you say it's 4 inches, you were like just comparing it to my penis size, pretty much. Like, oh yeah, that looks like Mumkey's dick. It's about 4 inches.
So anyways, it's like 4 to 5 inches long, and I want to say it was at least like an inch and a half deep. It was really deep. Like, I think one part you could see her bone, like in her forearm. And I look over to the tour guide, and he's just kind of like in shock looking at her. And I was like, you know, do you have first aid? Do you have first aid? He runs to the bus, and I like kind of follow him over, and he gets in his mini fridge and pulls out a bottle of water.
Oh.
I was like, what? He's like, oh, this is all I have. And I'm like, are you serious?
How are these people not prepared? What are you paying for?
I was like, this was not a cheap excursion either. It's like $90 a ticket or something, or $100 something a ticket. Like, all that for all these excursions you do every day, and you can't afford a first aid
They don't
kit.
have a Band-Aid.
Nothing. So I get on the bus, I grab my backpack, pull out the first aid kit, and we go over, and like there's a lady there that is thankfully a nurse, and she like is pulling it apart. I'm handing her like the gauze and stuff, and then I'm like, okay, we need to step back. But yeah, there was so much blood, and she was like going into shock, like shaking. It was wow. I was not expecting that, but I knew there was a reason I needed that first aid kit.
Yeah, that was like a miracle premonition. I can't even imagine what they would have done if you didn't buy that kit. What would they have even done?
Somebody would have had to rip a shirt off or something, because it was a bad like gash.
What country were you in at that time?
That was the Cayman Islands, which is basically the size of Des Moines, if that.
Wow. So did they rush her to a hospital or what?
No, we ended up finishing the tour.
This lady has her bones sticking out, and they said, well, we have to finish the tour, folks. You paid $90.
The guy's like, because she got bandaged up, and the bleeding was stopped at that point. And he's like, do you need to get back to the boat? Like, they have first aid there. What do you want to do? And she's like, I'll be fine. He's like, okay, we're going to finish the tour. And I think everybody else on the van with us was like, we should not.
Yeah, this balloon has been deflated. Let's move on.
But he wanted to go to the last stop. So we went to the last stop. The bus driver ate his lunch. And then when we got back to the port, she got taken by the first aid team. And I didn't end up seeing her again after that, which isn't, a strange occurrence.
They threw her
overboard. It's a massive ship. But I would hope that she got taken care of by the Carnival Cruise Line first aid team. I mean, they have like an actual operating room on the ship, I think. So I feel like if they needed to, they could do stitches at the bare minimum.
What if that evening you were just sitting in your room, whatever they call them, and you get a knock at the door, you answer it, it's the ship's doctor, and he says, hey, are you the one with the first aid kit? Uh-oh. Well, Biggs, it sounds like you were truly a hero for that stupid old lady who doesn't know how to wear tennis shoes, and I hope she learned her lesson and she does not make that mistake again, because there's not always going to be a Biggs there who was prepared. Now we've got some Patreon questions, and I think we should go through them lickety-split, rapid fire, because we're hitting about an hour. Do you want me to skip the inappropriate ones, or do you just want to tackle them? We can go.
I think we can skip them.
Well, 90% of them are just disrespectful, you could say.
So yeah, we'll stay away from those.
Okay, so
I won't answer any of those.
Cool Corgi says, how does the Honduran monkey feel about the marriage?
I don't know. I mean, we might have to go back to Honduras on the next cruise and see what they think.
Okay.
I didn't get to see him this time.
And if I read one that is over the line, you can say skip, and I'm fine with that. James wants to know, did their wedding invitations include their bull?
And that means...
Whatever you want it to mean.
No, it did not.
Soapy says, Biggs, how far do you squirt?
Far enough to count.
Some of these people must think that the wedding has not happened yet, because Slimy Goo wants to know who's going to be the prettiest bridesmaid and why will it be Jimmy? Who's Jimmy? This is the Monkey and Big show.
Man, if only I could have got Slip and Jimmy there. That would have been great.
He's too busy picketing. Bob Odenkirk joined the strike.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's really big on that. Okay, here's a real question from Mochi. Is Biggs still gaming after getting married? And if so, what games?
Definitely still gaming. I don't think I'll ever stop.
The ball and chain does not take your console away.
No, she plays with me.
Is she better at video games than you?
Most of them, yes.
That's a happy marriage, Biggs.
It is. I really enjoy being able to play stuff with her. But the main games we've been playing recently, we've been playing Risk of Rain 2, which is just like a dungeon crawler game, kind of what do they call it, roguelites, I think. We've been playing Stardew Valley. That's another one I really like. I enjoy the fishing on that game. Let's see, any other games? We've been playing like Catan online with her brother. I don't know if that counts. But yeah, for video games, basically just those two, like Risk of Rain 2 and Stardew Valley.
Have you unlocked the hot air balloons on Clash of Clans yet?
No, but I did play, was it Bloons Tower Defense 6?
Oh, that's Heartsy's favorite game. He will not shut up about it.
It's pretty fun. I remember playing Bloons back in the day, and then at some point, so I use this site called Kingwin to buy game keys because it's typically cheaper. And sometimes it'll flash up on there when you're in the cart and say, like, do you want to buy 10 random keys for an additional 99 cents? And I'm like,
wow.
Sure, why not? So usually it's just throwaway garbage games, you know,
like
games
Ball Frog,
nobody will ever see.
Binding of Isaac, Ball Frog, Squid Invaders.
So back in the day, I used to get suckered into that all the time. I would buy so many random game keys, and one of them ended up being Bloons Tower Defense 6, and I never touched it until, you know, I kind of realized what it was later on. I was like, oh, this is Bloons. Like, I don't know if it was on Miniclip, it was on one of those Flash game websites, you know? It's like, I used to play those games back in the day all the time, so I downloaded it, started playing it. It's pretty fun.
All right, so if you want to go play Bloons with Biggs, Mochi, you know where to go. Here is a big marriage question. Biggs, Paste Bun Anon wants to know, did you get a prenup?
No.
So was that like an option? Did you guys talk about that, or is that just stupid when you're both equally poor?
I just think they're dumb in general. Don't get married if you don't plan on being together forever. That's kind of my thought on it.
So true.
So the big thing with like Christian marriages is, for the most part, when you get married, it's like, you know, that's it. You don't get divorced. Like, that's the plan. That's who you're settling with. Very frowned upon to get divorced. And for me, when I was thinking ahead to marriage, you know, for me, it was never, you know, I just want to date a random person, get married, blah, 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 do the whole spiel like most people do, because there's a reason why the divorce rate is so high.
50% or something, right?
It's, yeah, even higher, I think. But it's like, for me, if I'm marrying somebody, like, that's it. We're not getting divorced ever. So I'm
even if she's
grateful.
like, if she's like begging to be freed, and you're like, nope, sorry, honey.
Well, see, that's the thing. You got to find somebody with similar views, whether people agree with my views or not. I found somebody that we can agree on things with. We agreed that marriage is a permanent thing. It's not something we're willing to walk away from. If there's issues down the line, we're going to work through them. It's not something we're willing to walk away from. So for me, prenup was not something I needed to worry about because there's never going to be a divorce.
Yeah, I'm sure there's no problem you guys couldn't like figure out just by talking like human beings,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and you guys, you're probably the best couple I know, and I, say that knowing that my brother listens to this podcast. So,
whoa!
So you guys will probably last longer than I'm going to even be alive, by my estimate.
And worst case scenario, if she disagrees enough with something, she can just kill me.
Yeah, or you'll probably give in and say, "Okay, honey," and just give up all your whatever you want to do.
That's the beauty of it. For a lot of things, like things that don't matter as much, like what do you want to eat, that kind of, what do you want to watch, what do you want to do, and I don't really care. I've always been a go with the flow kind of guy. So the beauty of it is, she'll kind of begrudgingly mostly choose something to do because she really wants me to actually choose something. But for me, it's so hard to choose what to do because I never really care. It's like I'm willing to do anything with you. Like video games,
Biggs.
Watch TV.
That is so sweet, Biggs. I wish you would say that to me. I would do anything with you. I've been dreaming of that since we were in middle school.
Yeah, so I probably should put forth more effort to actually want to do certain things, but I think all the major issues we're not going to have to deal with for a while. I feel like for now we are good. There's not really anything cropping up.
Well, if you guys ever have some sort of marriage debacle, some sort of big debate going on, Judge MUMKEY would love to have you both on the show to hash it out, and and I will decide the winner.
We can do an episode of MUMKEY and BIGS show. It's marriage counseling, and you're just talking us through whatever potential things going on at the time.
Not counseling. This is like a judge, like a jury trial. I want you guys to be debating each other, and I decide who's right.
We got to gather evidence and bring it to you and see who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah, what should we have for dinner tonight? Biggs wants tacos again. Mrs. Biggs wants anything else.
She would love if we had my tacos every night because I make tacos. I don't know if I've said it on here before, like how I do mine, but the only way I ever make tacos is like street tacos. It's like the steak tacos on a corn tortilla with cilantro, onion, salsa verde, and lime. Like that's the only way I eat them, and she loves them. So she's like, if I was willing to make that more often, she'd be up for it.
Well, hey, if you ever want company, I would like to try one of these street tacos. Biggs, cook them up for the whole gang. Let's do it. Let's have a taco party.
For sure.
As soon as you get home.
We'll definitely have to do that sometime. Yeah.
Okay, Koopy J Time says, "I'm fucking killing myself. Biggs is taken now."
I don't know how this is news. Like the last 2 or 3 episodes I've been on, that's been like a main topic.
Yeah, it's been pretty explicit that Biggs is
upcoming
getting
marriage
married.
Or Biggs has a GF.
The episode was titled "Biggs is getting married."
Yeah, but we also had an episode titled "The Bachelor," and Biggs is getting married before. So
and an episode called "The Funeral of MUMKEY and Biggs."
Yeah,
the resurrection
I don't know if
of
the
Biggs.
titles are very.
We had an episode called "We're Opening a Restaurant and You Get Free Food." I don't know if that one came true.
Yeah, they're kind of misleading.
Yeah. Well, so should I clickbait this episode, or is what should we call it? The Big Biggs wedding. Biggs got married. Which one? And I think I'm gonna do the thumbnail of the selfie I took with you in the background.
Who posted that comment?
Koopy J Time.
Koopy J Time. So do Koopy J Time. Good news for you. He's single.
Oh, it's a complete trick. Wow. Say, yeah, an inside joke that only one human being is going to want to clickbait to to find out what's going on? That's fine. Yeah, I'll probably end up titling it that. General wants to know, Biggs, is your room, and you now live in a different place with your wife, so I'd be curious to hear the answer to this one. Is your room still covered in black tarps?
No, at least not on nights that I'm not doing my Dexter stuff.
So you and your wife did not decorate your marital bedroom with trash bags?
No, unfortunately not.
That's too bad.
Did
she ever get to see the trash bag basement that you were living in?
Unfortunately, yes, she did.
Well, if she still married you after that, dude, that is true love.
Yeah. She even saw like how the mattress was set up and where my desk was. She
sees how you live.
It was a heart-wrenching day for her to see that.
No. Major D wants to know, is Nostalgia Biggs ever gonna happen?
That's a future project. It's what did we say? I can't remember what. You know what ETA you gave.
Biggs, I'm gonna pull up Chat GPT right now. Okay, we're gonna do it. And I'll copy and paste it, and you can read the script. In the style of the Nostalgia Critic, but instead as a parody called Nostalgia Biggs, featuring a rotund Mexican host, write a critical review of the film S. Darko. Okay, this is Nostalgia Biggs. Nostalgia Biggs theme music playing. Oh my goodness. Oh, Biggs, this is good. Oh, once it finishes typing, I'm going to send this to you. And then I'll edit it into a video, and we will literally have our 1 minute Nostalgia Biggs. Are you down to clown Biggs? You want to read this 5-paragraph essay?
Sure.
It's still typing. It's going crazy. Wow, it is still going. I don't know if this is a genuine review or not.
And if it ends and it's like not completely done, if you just type continue, it'll keep going.
Oh, hopefully this is enough, because this is like 10 pages long. Okay. Well, everybody, welcome to Nostalgia Biggs. Oh, never mind. My message is too long. Oops. I'll have to send it as 2 separate messages.
Gotta cut it in half.
Yep. Okay. Okay, here is part 1 of Nostalgia Biggs.
Are you gonna edit in some Nostalgia Biggs theme music?
Yeah, and if you like fumble, I'll edit it all. It'll be like a real video.
Why is it in Spanish?
Because I said you're Mexican.
Hola, amigos y amigas. Welcome to Nostalgia Biggs, where we take a chunky dive into the past, examining movies that make you say, "Ay caramba!" This is awesome. I'm your rotund host, Nostalgia Biggs, bringing you another critical review that will leave you craving more tacos.
This shit is racist as fuck.
Today, we're delving into the perplexing world of S. Darko, as I like to call it, CK.
Yes, what? Is that the translation?
Well, yeah, I think so. Now, my dear reviewers, before we continue, let me just say that this film is like a piñata filled with confusion and disappointment. It's the sequel to the cult classic Donnie Darko, a film that left us scratching our heads and debating its meaning for years.
True.
So naturally, we were all eagerly anticipating this sequel to tie up loose ends and give us some clarity. Spoiler alert, it didn't. S. Darko takes us on a bewildering journey with Donnie's little sister, Samantha Darko. Wow, this thing actually... It's got to have like some kind of way to search the summary or something, right?
Yeah.
Surely?
It might be stealing from actual reviews of the movie.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But let me tell you, this film has more plot holes than a faulty tortilla.
Oh my god.
It's as if the filmmakers took a dartboard filled with convoluted ideas, closed their eyes, and started throwing darts randomly, and boy, did they miss the mark.
Oh, that's scathing, Biggs.
The characters, well, they're about as memorable as the last taco I ate. But hey, I remember the last taco.
Yeah, evidently they're very memorable.
Yeah. Samantha Darko, played by Davy Chase, tries her best to carry the film, but the writing doesn't do her any favors. It's like they expected us to be invested in her story without giving us any reason to care. And don't even get me started on the other characters who just seem to exist to fill screen time.
Okay, I got the second half coming right now.
Oh, I crunched it together, I see. Okay. Now let's talk about the plot, or at least let's try to decipher it. S. Darko attempts to explore themes of time travel, destiny, and cosmic forces. But it's like trying to eat a whole burrito without any salsa. Bland and unsatisfying.
I like how he knows that you're Mexican and rotund, so everything is about Mexican food.
Yeah. This reminds me of that one video we made where our English teacher in like 8th grade is like, or no, it was 9th grade, is like making fun of me with like tacos and tortillas or whatever. That one short film you did.
Right. Person of culture.
Yeah. The film throws random nonsensical events at us without any rhyme or reason, leaving us scratching our heads and wondering what the heck is going on. And the cherry on top, the visual effects and cinematography. Oh, I read that completely wrong. It's like they raided the clearance section of the visual effects store. The CGI is laughably bad, and the camera work feels like it was done by someone who had one too many shots of tequila. In the end, S. Darko is a fiesta of confusion, disappointment, and missed opportunities. It tries to capture the magic of its predecessor, but falls flat on its rotund face.
What?
It's a film that leaves you with more questions than answers, and not in a good way. So, my friends, save yourself the trouble and go rewatch the original Donnie Darko instead.
Oh, that's
true.
right.
That's true. That's where the real magic lies. And as for S. Darko, well, let's just say it's a fiesta that's not worth the admission price. Adios.
Nostalgia Big's theme music fades out. What music should I use for Nostalgia Big's intro and outro?
Let's just find the most racist, like...
mariachi music.
Mariachi music.
Okay. Wow, Biggs, we delivered. Like, they've been waiting 3 years for the S. Darko Nostalgia Biggs review, and we just wrote it and performed it live, you know?
Yeah, and you get like a free like 2 to 3 minute video that you can just post separately from this.
And if anybody at home wants to edit and make that video for us, go for it. 'Cause, wow.
Just find one of the AI generated video makers and have them do it.
Yeah, do Wes Anderson trailer parody featuring Nostalgia Biggs reviewing S. Darko. I want to see Wes Anderson's take on your review. Anyway, I think there might be one other question, but we're going really long, so we can just end it if you want to.
I'm down for one more question, I guess.
Okay. From Riley. Biggs, FMK. You know what those letters mean, right?
No, I don't.
F, marry, kill. Your wife, MUMKEY, and Donnie Darko.
Oh, man.
Would you marry your wife? I highly doubt that.
I would marry my wife.
What? So you're either gonna kill me, or, I mean, if you have to choose between effing me or effing Donnie Darko, I think I might be dying here, Biggs.
Well, I already had my shot with you, so I mean, we can go ahead and kill you off.
No!
Trying to get my chance with Donnie, right?
No! It's not fair. Oh, Biggs, somebody was asking if Arion is going to perform at your wedding, and that just reminded me, we have a big plan for my birthday this year. Motherfucking
yes,
Dream Theater, one of my all-time favorite bands my whole life, is performing here in Iowa literally on my birthday. Like, there's never been a better coincidence. Yeah, like, I don't even know a word to call it, but I had no choice. We had to go.
The last time they were even near us, I think they played somewhere, it was either Illinois or Nebraska. And I was like, oh man, if only we could make it to that. Why is it so far away? And then it's like, oh, their next tour schedule is in Europe. I guess we'll never see them again. And then, like, what has it been, like 3 or 4 years? And here they are coming back around.
Coming to Iowa on my birthday. It's unbelievable. If you live in the area and you like Dream Theater, go to the concert. You might see us. We got a whole fucking party. Eggy's going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. That is the most hyped for anything I've ever been. You know, the next 2 months better fly by.
Yeah. After Avantasia in Chicago, this is the next big one I wanted to see for sure.
And
Arion.
And Devin Townsend is joining them, which I love him too. Like, it's almost unbelievable that this is happening, and I'm trying to figure out how the universe is going to ruin it for me.
Yeah.
We might get in a car wreck on the way there.
I mean, that's always possible.
Yeah. But, maybe, after the concert, me and Biggs will come back to tell you all my birthday shenanigans. Who knows? Maybe the biannual Mumkey and Biggs will become triannual, or maybe even quadannual, if that's a word. Biggs, do you have any final thoughts or anything you want to plug?
Final thing. Oh, we're on the music topic. I guess I'll plug a song that my wife actually showed me. It's a real banger. It's called The Fool by Flesh God Apocalypse. She sent that to me, and I was very surprised, but it's very on par for our music taste. I think you should listen to it. It's phenomenal. Okay,
I'm legitimately, as soon as we end this call, I'm going to listen to that very first thing. It's by Flesh God Apocalypse, The Fool?
Yes.
Okay.
It's called The Fool. Yep.
Okay, yeah, I could definitely do that. So everybody, that's the plug for today. Biggs, you got anything else for the people?
I love you guys. That's all I got.